Hi everyone, welcome to Model Walk Explained. Tonight's story is called The Shape of Wind. Our model is a girl named Yo-Yo, walking alone in the streets of Hong Kong. The brighter the neon, the lonelier she feels. As the city spins on without pause, she clings to fragments of memory and to one person who no longer stands beside her. It's 11:37 p.m. Wan Chai is still lit like a theater. I sit by the window in a cha-chan tang that stays open till 2. I order an iced lemon tea. No sugar, no ice. I just need to hold something. We used to come here a lot. You always chose the corner booth, ordered French toast with extra butter, and said Hong Kong nights should be greasy or they're not real. I'd laugh and call you a tourist. You'd smile and say, maybe you never belonged here. Back then I thought you were joking, but everything you said turned out to be true. Outside, the streets are bursting with people. Some just finished work, some are heading to meet lovers, some are drunk, some are radiant with joy. I look at them and feel none of it. The louder the city, the quieter my heart becomes. It feels like the air's been sucked out of my chest. That night, the city was just as loud. We fought. You said you were tired of how I hid everything, that I never said how I felt. You asked me if you were part of my future. I didn't answer. I didn't know how. By the time I wanted to say I would change, you were already gone. You left 2 years ago to find a bigger version of yourself. I didn't stop you. I knew this city was never yours. You said it felt like there was never enough room to breathe here. You wanted space. Still, the night before you left, you held my hand and said you'd miss it. Said this city is too much, but you're here, so I'll miss it. I believed, for 1 second, that you might stay. I made your favorite dinner, tomato beef macaroni, fried an egg you said you hated, just to see your reaction. You joked it was worse than a school canteen. I almost asked you to stay, but you were laughing and I didn't want to ruin it. The truth is, I didn't think I had the right to ask. I thought if I waited long enough, you'd come back, that you'd get tired, want home, want me. But that was just a story I wrote for myself. You left and never looked back. Your messages came less and less. Sometimes you'd reply, but your words felt like you were comforting yourself more than me. I remember when you first got to London, you sent pictures. A subway graffiti, a patch of blue sky, your first coffee in the park. One video had a pigeon standing at your feet. You said even the birds here aren't afraid of people. Just like me when I first came to Hong Kong. I nearly cried in the office restroom. I remembered how lost you looked back then. How hard you tried to act like you were okay. I want to ask, when you walked away at the airport, was there even a flicker of doubt? Did you ever look back? Or did you already know I would stay, and that made it easier to leave? I stood behind the crowd, watching your figure disappear through the gate. I mouthed your name again and again, but you never turned around. Not even once. I still dream of you standing still, waiting for me. But in my dreams, your face is always blurred. The streetlights stretch people's shadows far across the pavement. Some look like they're only half a person. That's how I feel. Half. Like you took the part of me that could move forward. Do you remember the movie we watched together? The one where the girl says she's afraid of being left alone. You teased me after, said I was just like her. I told you I wasn't scared of being alone. I was scared I'd have to smile after you left. You called me dramatic, but maybe I already knew you'd go. Sometimes I wonder, what wasn't enough? Was I too quiet, too dependent, too boring? You always said it wasn't me, it was you. But you didn't look back that day. That's what I remember most. Not because it hurt, but because it told me everything I was afraid to admit. My last birthday, I only invited you. We sat by the harbor steps with a cheap cake. You played a song on your phone and sang out of tune. I told you to stop. You said, I just don't want you to feel like this day doesn't belong to you. I laughed so hard that night. I believed you were the best thing in the world. Sometimes I walk past your favorite bookstore. The aircon is still too cold. The same staff is still there. Your half-read photo book still sits on the third shelf. I wonder if you remember any of this, or if Hong Kong is just a chapter you never reread. I'm still here, flipping through the pages. I remember you said someday we'd open a bookstore together. Books in the front, coffee in the back, a balcony, a cat, and me. I said it sounded boring. You said with you, boring doesn't exist. But you still left. Not a word. My lemon tea is cold now. The slice of lemon just floats there, untouched. Like me. You meant no harm, you just kept walking. You're chasing light. I was always the shadow. If one day I disappear, would you notice? Would something feel missing? Or would you think maybe it's time I chased my own light too? But I don't have light. I just wanted to stay with the traces you left. The neon, the streetlights, the bridge where you waved goodbye, they're all still here. I just can't pretend anymore that this kind of waiting means something. I'm not special. I haven't learned how to let go. I still read your old messages in the middle of the night. I still walk through Causeway Bay pretending you're walking beside me. Still fantasize that you'd come back one day, look at me, and say you're really still here. But I know you won't. You've already built a life without me. I'm still stuck in the time we never finished. The tea is gone cold. The crowd outside hasn't been. Buses keep arriving. The city keeps turning. Only I am still here, standing in the silence of a goodbye that was never answered. Thanks for watching. If you liked tonight's story, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and give us a like. We'll see you in the next episode. Good night.
We don't have to go out. I'd rather just hang out, get you one-on-one. We don't have to go out, just want you to know now that you're all I want. You know that I'm begging you to stay. You know I will let you have your way. Hey. Oh, oh, oh. If you had to wait up for me, would you wait? Broke down on the road, would you be my AAA? Stranded on an island, tell me would you stay? Baby, on my wheels and call me castaway. If I bought you roses, babe, what would you say? If I was here to catch you, would you have the faith? Stranded on an island, tell me would you stay? Baby, on my wheels and call me castaway. Said hello, but you're still talking on the phone. Maybe it's time that I should finally let you go. Wish I didn't waste your time. Couldn't let it go. Never had the chance to find